Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic, you guys, we are going to talk about how the narcissist's biggest trick will destroy you. The narcissist's biggest trick will destroy you. So before I start off this video, you guys, I hope that this video actually reaches a lot of you guys. It doesn't matter how long you've been with the narcissist. It doesn't matter if you have children, if you're married or divorced, or just the circumstance that the narcissist has left you in. Because you can get through it. You can find yourself, once the narcissist is gone, you're literally free. You might not feel like you're free, because it's literally like someone holding you captive, and when you finally free yourself, it's like you're experiencing that PTSD. You're having nightmares, or you feel lost, or you feel alone, or you might feel suicidal. You might feel all type of different emotions. And I just want you guys to know that I've been there. It's a feeling of betrayal that I'm not even going to lie to you guys, that just it's a feeling that will never go away. And that's not saying that you won't trust people anymore, but it's this innocence that was taken away from you, because in the midst of everything, there was this joy, there was this excitement, there was this excitement when you get with a narcissist, because you're naive, or you're not understanding that this narcissist you came across was a true predator. Now, in my case, this person was a lot older than me, and I want to reach out, especially to the young women, because it's kind of like crazy, because when you're in that moment where you're going through these things and there's people that's older than you that's trying to get through to you, or give you advice, you kind of look at them like, like they kind of messed up their lives, or you look at them like it would never happen to you. You're, a lot of times you're in that peak of your life where, you're youthful. Everywhere you go, you're getting attention from men. And a lot of times you like the attention. You like that men's eyes are on you. Or, I've heard even women say certain things like, oh, that lady's just mad because her husband's looking at me. I've literally have heard other women say things like that in a catty way, and by doing that, I always realize in those situations how women are not connected to each other the way we should be. Like people who are older should be able to give younger women game, give them game, because obviously there's a game being played. A lot of narcissist men, as we know, most men, not all men, but a lot of men, there's a very high percentage of narcissist men. They don't think with empathy. They think with, all they think about is sex or how to get into your pants, and things like that. And when you're living in that moment and you're getting attention and you're not thinking anything of it, and you think that life is always going to be like that, like you're literally in the moment where you're not even realizing, like a part of you knows that one day you're going to get older, one day you're going to have children. It's like, these things, but while you're young, because I do want to reach younger women so that they can also make the right choices, so that they won't have to deal with being with a narcissist for 7, 8, 10 years. Because the narcissist is literally playing tricks. They're playing tricks with your head. They're playing tricks with your mind. They know that when other women tell you, that you're dealing with a bad person and to leave that guy alone, that guy doesn't love you. They know that they can easily tell you that your friend is jealous of you, or they can easily tell you that your friend is also married to a cheater. So why believe him? Why believe that friend, right? Why believe your friend because your friend is married and or has children with this person? And sometimes as a young woman, you're thinking to yourself, yeah, that, my friend is just mad because, she's married to the wrong guy. But, sometimes you have to really think about it. Do you really know their relationship? Because the narcissist is always going to make it seem like other people and other relationships are just as toxic as them, basically, or worse. They're going to make it seem like other people are more toxic than them. In reality, they might all be the same, but there might be different things, there's some women that are actually getting something out of it. This person is elevating them. This person is helping them grow. This person, provides for their family, provides for their children. There's levels to this stuff. So when you're young, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking that, you'll always get that opportunity to find someone that's going to be your Prince Charming. And you think that these things won't destroy you in any kind of way because you actually feel like you're in control. But see, the moment the narcissist has sex with you or is intimate with you, that's the moment that they have tricked you. What I realized now is that I wrapped myself into this relationship so fast that I didn't even realize what was going on. I didn't realize that sex and being sexual, and I hope this doesn't trigger anyone, but I didn't realize that being sexual, that you build a connection with someone. I didn't realize that this narcissist had literally stamped me. They stamp me, it's like a stamp that they put on you, and you feel it, you forever feel that stamp in some way. It doesn't feel, the same over time, but that abandonment, that betrayal, being used, when you think about all the fights and all the discards, or all the times they devalued you, or all the times they spoke bad about you, your family, and the people around you, or they talked bad about other relationships of other people and things like that. When you realize that all of those things were lies and that you literally were being physically and mentally abused by a liar, by a pathological liar, someone who was literally brainwashing you with sex. And what happens is that you're getting all this attention, from men, and when you finally get with this predator, the biggest trick that they pulled on you, which was an illusion, it's a big illusion, you guys. And, a trick, you guys, is someone who is, someone pulling a trick is someone who is cunning, who is skillful, and who actually schemes to deceive someone, to outwit someone. They don't want to give you an opportunity to actually have a life. They want to trick you into thinking that you're going to be something with them, but in reality, they're tricking you out of the life that you want for yourself. They're trying to do better than you. They're in a competition with you. And you start to see those signs as you're with them longer. You start to see that they're trying to elevate themselves using you. But like I said, when you're in the moment, you're living in that moment, you're having fun with this person, or you're, going out with friends, and you're going through the discards, the devalue, you're going through the love bombing over and over and over again. That's part of the scheme. That's part of the trick. So I want you guys to really think about it and pay attention, because as you're going through these situations and every discard gets worse and worse, and they start showing you different sides of them that you do not like, you hate those things about them, but somehow you still feel attached. I've had narcissists that I've actually heard, say things like, oh, the reason this man can't keep a girl, narcissists will make fun of other men who are not narcissists. And they'll say things like, oh, he's a loser, or he's a sucker, or he's a chump, or, he doesn't know how to fuck a girl good enough, and that's why he's single, because he doesn't know how to have sex with her and constantly have sex with her. It's like a competition with other men as well. Narcissists compete with other men, with other narcissists. They compete with other narcissists to see how many women they have. How do they, how do their women look? So when you're around a narcissist man, you will realize that they're surrounded by other narcissists, and they will always tell you that they're nothing like them. They'll tell you, that's my friend, or that's my brother, so I have to accept that he's like that. But a lot of chances are that they're both the same, and there's some type of jealousy there towards that other person, because that person might have more, or they might have the type of supply that the narcissist envies. So that's part of the biggest trick, is that, the biggest trick that will destroy you is that when you're going through these discards, there comes a point in time where you start to understand that this person is lying to you. You start to understand that they're cheating on you, or they might be doing something behind your back. But the thing is, the narcissist is going to try their best for you not to see the other person that they're with. Even if you find something, even if you see a phone call, a text message, an email, they do not want you guys to physically see each other, because to them, it's like, that's going to be the point where I'm going to have to choose which supply I want to keep around longer. They don't want to have to confront the other person and tell the other person, like, I'm choosing this person. Like, they don't want to go through that, because they want to be able to circle around to pass supplies. That's what they do. And a lot of times you're thinking to yourself, it's all good. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm in control. You're never in control when you're with a narcissist. Let me tell you that. You might think you're in control. You might think that you have the upper hand because you know who they are. You might think you're in control because this person is telling you about their ex-girlfriend, or this person is pillow talking to you about their wife. And, their wife is this, their wife is that, their wife is getting old. She doesn't take care of herself. These people are conniving people, and you might think to yourself that you have the upper hand, but you do not. The narcissist is going to stick with you as long as they can. It doesn't matter if you're right, if you're wrong. It doesn't matter if they're right, if they're wrong. It doesn't matter the situation. It doesn't matter how bad it gets. As long as you leave that door open, they will continue to circle around. And a part of you knows this is why when they discard, it's like you're waiting for them to hoover. And sometimes you might even think to yourself, like, the narcissist, if we break up, they usually come back home, or, after 2-3 days, or, they usually come back around after a week, or, it takes them a month to hoover me now. The hoovering and the love bombing becomes less and less as the time goes, as the years go. And as the years go, you still feel an attachment to them, because you're thinking to yourself, well, this person's still around. So even if they do cheat or they do lie, they're never going to leave me. And no one else understands, the type of relationship we go through. So what happens is that you end up cutting all the people in your life off. You cut your family off. You cut your friends off. You cut people off that you feel are a threat to you or your relationship, because they might be telling you the truth, or you might feel like they're jealous of you because they're going through problems as well. But they might be warning you. These people, these women, or your friends might be warning you, because they know how these narcissist men are, and they might not be in the same position that you are. And they might see that the road that you're going towards is going to be a lonely road. They might see you got to think about it. Most people, can see what you can't see before it happens. And once you leave a narcissist relationship, you're going to view other people's relationships. You're going to look at other men, other women, other young men, other young women, and you're going to see for yourself. As soon as you're around that person or that person's opening up to you about themselves, you see where their life is headed. And it's a sad thing because you try to warn people to get out while they, we always have the opportunities to do the things that we want, right? But there's this point in your life, like when you're in high school or you're going to college, those years are the years where you're supposed to enjoy yourself as much as you can, party, have fun, and travel, do things that you can, because guess what? One day you're going to have to pay bills. You're going to have to travel. You have to travel accordingly because things in your life are going to change. Children, different things happen as you get older. The stress of just trying to survive, just trying to survive and pay your bills. And you're going to realize you don't have your parents around anymore. You're going to realize the weight of everything, the weight of the world. You're going to realize one day that your parents and the people that are older than you, now, even if they're older than you, they're going to be looking up to you. Then you start to see your parents become grandparents and they're looking for you for guidance, for help. You know why? Because the world is always changing. So yes, the people around you, the older people around you, or the people you care about, they might, have a lot of wisdom. But at the end of the day, they're going to look up to you because as times change, they know that they don't know everything either. They accept that they're never going to know everything either. And that's one thing that I've realized is that as much wisdom as I have, there's always something to learn. You get me? So what happens and why I made this video is so that you guys know not to waste your time. You might think to yourself, oh, I spent a year, 2 years. I've been 3 years with this person. Trust me, those 3 years will turn into 5. Those 5 years will turn into 7. Then it's going to be like 8, 9, 10. And those 4 or 5 years, you're going to spend them miserably. And you're going to think to yourself, wow, now I'm an adult. Now I have the weight of the world on me. No one feels sorry for me because they have their own problems. Everyone has their own narcissist issues, and I'm really alone in this. And I can talk about this as much as I want, but nothing is making me feel good. Nothing is making me feel free again, because that freedom was taken away from you with that narcissist, and that narcissist knew better. But they were getting off on your good energy. They were getting off on you being naive. They were getting off on your pain. They were getting off on your childhood, memories, and they're getting over on you. If you have a disability, if you have an eating disorder, if you're overweight, if you don't have family, if you are a single parent, the narcissist is seeking people like that. And what we don't understand is that the narcissist is destroying you. They're destroying you. They are taking everything. They're taking the life out of you. And all that back and forth, it might feel good because you're getting a high. It's like doing drugs. You're getting this high when you see them and they're being nice to you, and all of a sudden they're kissing you and they want to rub on you, and you get this rush, right? You get this rush and you want to keep having this rush. But that rush is a drug, and that drug ends up depleting you physically, mentally. This is why people get sick, because the narcissist, they're a disease, because everything that they do is based on a lie. And as you're going through the motions with them and you think that you have all the time in the world, you have all this time, right? You feel like you're always going to be the person that you see in the mirror. You think that you're going to live forever. You think that, the time is going by slow, when in reality, the time is going by so fast. But before you get that heartbreak, before that narcissist tries to destroy you, it seems like literally like time is going by slow. Once that narcissist wakes you up to the reality of life and the world, it's like time starts to speed up, and you're in this torment, and you're like looking back at the choices that you've made, and you're disappointed. You're disappointed in yourself because the biggest lie that the narcissist made you feel like, the biggest lie the narcissist told you is them making you feel like you were always going to go on this ride with them. You thought you were always going to go on this ride with them. You thought that no matter how bad things were, that, you have this person's back. You're loyal to this person, and I tell you guys because it happened to me. There was so many times where I could have, the narcissist could have got arrested, or, so many things could have happened, to them legally, and, and so many things. And I protected them. I had their back. I had their back no matter what, like they could have been wrong and I was still having their back. I was loyal to them. I never put them in a situation for them to get in trouble or anything like that. And in the end, even after all the things that I went through, I always tell you guys my story, but, I went through a lot of abuse, and I even lost my baby and at birth. So this is why I tell you guys this story, because I had dreams. I had dreams of, being a parent and raising my child with this person and, living this dream. I knew it wasn't perfect, but it was like everything was destroyed. And that person didn't have no empathy for me. Narcissists don't have empathy. They'll make up excuses to justify what you went through. And, they made it seem like, hey, things like this happen all the time. So what? Like, it's understandable. We all know things like this happen, but it was the lack of empathy for me. It was the lack of loyalty for me. There's no loyalty there. And not only that, they actually threatened me with the police, and I'm not an aggressive person. I've never put my hands on the narcissist, although they put their hands on me time and time again, or pushed me or tried to spit on me. And I never did anything disloyal to them. I stayed loyal to the end. Even when, that new supply was slapped down my face, I still didn't react because I knew that's what that person wanted. They wanted a reaction out of me. They wanted me to go and fight the new supply or talk to the new supply. But I felt like it's not my place to talk to the new supply. It's not my place to do that because I don't love the new supply. I love this person, right? But the fact that they would even think about calling the cops on me when I didn't do anything to them, when they're the ones who abused me, to me, that's when I realized, not only the things I've experienced, but that's when I realized, like, wow, narcissists are very sick people. Like, they're sick as hell. Like, they can't just, it's like they can't admit the things that they do, but they know what they're doing to you. It's sick. There's no remorse, no empathy. There's no love there. And this is why I tell you guys this. All this up and down that you guys are going through, all this breaking up and getting back together. I know that sometimes some of you listen to these videos and you guys are kind of like, okay, I just needed someone to clarify that I'm with a narcissist. Like, I just needed to know I'm not going crazy. I'm really dealing with a narcissist. But Angel Angela doesn't know my narcissist. She doesn't really know our relationship. But yeah, he does have a lot of those, a lot of those qualities. I'm going to tell you right now, you're hurting yourself. You're not winning. You're dealing with a soulless person. And as much as you think that you're going to be on this ride forever, one day this ride is going to stop because they've already set a time limit to you. So yeah, in their mind, you guys have been broken up since they met you. The relationship might have been good for 6 months, and then guess what? All 8 years, they put you through hell. All 7 years, they put you through hell. And now, guess what? They've waited all these years just so that you can get older. And by the time that you realize what they did to you, you didn't get married, you didn't have children, you didn't have any of the things that you wanted. And now they want to think about you. They want to think about you while they're with the new supply. They're going to be thinking about you, and they're going to think about everything they did to you. And that's what's going to fuel them to keep going on with the next supply and the supply after that. It fuels them to think that they left you, feeling like that. It fuels them to think to themselves like, yeah, I didn't give them any of the things that they wanted out of life. And I made them, make some really poor choices along the way, or, I got them in trouble with the law, like all those things they're getting off on, even, putting women on drugs. That's another one I noticed about narcissists, is that they put women on drugs, and they also make you drink. I always tell you guys, when I was younger, I used to work at a bar, and I never been like a drinker, but I realized a lot of women were drinking beer, and they're all into sports, and things like that. And honestly, all the sports and all the beer and all that stuff, it comes from a narcissist man. Those aren't things that these women just one day woke up. And when I see that, I can tell just by studying certain women, by little things like, like drinking beer. It's like, oh yeah, you must have been with a narcissist because you drink beer every day. Like that's not, it came from somewhere. Everything is learned. And what I notice about narcissists, men, they like to keep you drunk. They like to keep you on drugs. They like to hang out at bars and things like that. And, life and time is passing you by as you're drinking, and you think you're having fun, and you're surrounding yourself with friends, and the narcissist is just looking at you like, okay, I think I can spend a couple of years with this person until I meet someone younger, or the next person, or until I meet someone who's richer or who has more than you. Or until I get into that circle of friends that I've always wanted to get into, and that's part of the destruction, is that by the time that you realize it, so much time has passed. And sometimes it's crazy because, some women think that they're old, and they're not old. It's just that a lot of men have made a stigma about women after a certain age, and that's because they know that after a certain age you can't really be controlled the way you're able to be controlled when you're younger. It's not that you're old, so I just want you guys to know that too. It's not that you're old. It's just that men want to make women feel so low because they want to feel like, hey, I can be 40, 50 years old and still get me a 20-year-old. So they want women to feel like they're nothing. They want all women to feel this way. And I've noticed this about narcissist men because there's so many of them. A lot of times we think as women that we're smarter. And I do believe we're smarter, because if you really notice when you're around narcissist men, it's like you kind of have to tell them what to do when it comes to certain things, because it's like they're little kids. The times we're living in, when I look around, it's like we're in hell already, because all these women don't know what's going on. I feel like a lot of young girls are waking up, but at the same time, they do not have the right guidance around them to remain strong. It's like they're smart, but they don't have that strong willpower that you need after leaving a narcissist relationship. They don't have that strong willpower to cut someone off and never talk to them again. Because the narcissist, they're never going to leave you alone. And if you cut them off, that's going to give them more of a reason to want to hoover you. They're going to be like, oh, I like her. She cut me off. Oh, I like this game. They're predators. They like the game. And I just wanted you guys to know on this video that they destroy you because, time passes by, and by the time you turn around, you're going to realize that there were so many opportunities that you could have left and you did not leave. And you thought that this roller coaster was going to last forever, but at some point it's going to end. And when it ends, I hope that you guys have made the right choices outside of the relationship so that you can keep going with your life. Always do the things that you want to do. Never wait on the narcissist. My advice, if you guys ever want to travel, or if you want to go to school, or if you are in school, finish those things. Even if your mind changes and you might think to yourself, I'm not really inspired to do this anymore. Those thoughts most likely came from a narcissist coming into your world and taking your focus off on the things that you care about. They're the type of people that, they'll take your focus off anything that you're doing in your life, even your job. They'll make you miserable right before you go to work, and then you're at work, vibrating off low energy, and people can tell. And people get off on your weakness. So if you're weak and you're going to work and you're vibrating off weakness, there'll just be another narcissist waiting on you there. So be very careful with your time. The narcissist, they're not going to play this game with you forever. Even if you get married to a narcissist, even if you have children with them, you might think to yourself, I'm saving my money. I'm going to leave this narcissist, right? It depends on the narcissist situation. If they have an opportunity where they get money and they can leave you, they will. Especially right now, these times where we're living in with this pandemic going on and people getting all this free money. A lot of narcissists are starting, problems in their households. It's a lot of domestic violence. And the crazy part is the narcissist believes that if they find the right supply or they have money, that's going to bring happiness into their life. But the only person that's going to win out of this situation is you. I know it's hurtful. I know you're probably going through a lot of pain, but I just want you to know that it's you who wins at the end. It's not them. Just when you start to feel like you're defeated, you'll feel defeated. It's natural, especially when you thought you were in control. You thought you were in control over yourself and your emotions. And, you realize that betrayal is just something that it's like you just can't, you just don't have any words for it, because it's almost like it's unbelievable that someone would do this to you on purpose. But narcissist men, you guys, narcissist men are predators. They have a time stamp for you. They definitely have a time stamp for you. I don't know anything about narcissist women because I've never been in that situation. I'm not a man, I don't know about narcissist women having timestamps for people, I don't know about that. I'm not a man. I'm not a man that has dealt with a narcissist woman. I know that narcissist women like to use their looks. They like to get married to men for their status or use people. They like to use their femininity and things like that. I get that part. But there's, narcissist men are different. You might need to find one of these narcissist channels. If you're a man, find one of these narcissist channels that actually specify more about a narcissist woman. I don't know too many narcissist men channels that actually talk about women. Most of them just talk about the narcissist man, which that to me is also, questionable, but that's, another topic. But, I did want to drop this to you guys, is that do not expect the narcissist to be with you forever. They can try to impregnate you, try to have kids with you so that you won't leave them. Some of them even, make sure they leave you with a lot of kids on purpose. And that doesn't mean that they're going to stay with you forever or for a long time. That means that, you served your purpose for them. Do not think that you're going to be on that ride forever. So you have to be very cautious with your time, and never tell yourself that you're getting old or you're too old to look for someone else. You're too old. No one else is going to want you. So you might as well just stay with a toxic person. It's better to be alone, and you're going to hear a lot of people tell you, it's better to be alone. I'd rather be alone than be with someone who is playing me and using me. You'll hear people say things like that, and you might think to yourself, well, I really don't like being alone. I've already done it. I've already tried it, and I rather want the narcissist around. Trust me, you do not want that. They'll literally kill you slowly. Their energy is literally killing you while you're sitting next to them, while you're laying with them. There's energy that's being sucked out of you. This is why you feel tired, and then they wake up in the morning energized, wanting breakfast, wanting to finally go chase their dreams. And you're giving them all that energy. Do not give your energy away to these people. Let them go find someone else to suck the life out of. And do not ever get jealous for the new supplier, anyone that they move on with, because they've already showed you that they do not have any empathy. And if someone lacks empathy and they lack loyalty and respect, they lack to me, that's all that matters at this point in my life. I don't care about how people look or any of those things, or what they're wearing or I don't care about those things. What I care about is loyalty, because I know that I have loyalty. I'm the type of person that I'm very, very loyal. I'll never put you in harm's way, no matter how angry I am with you, no matter how upset I am, because I know at the end of the day that we all have choices. So always understand that you have a choice, and you can't stay mad at people for too long. It hurts, I know. But always understand that you do have a choice. You might have been controlled all your life by people, by your parents, by your family, by your friends, by your job. You might have been controlled by your church. You might have been controlled your whole life. So understand that now, no matter how long it took, you're in a position where you finally have control over yourself. So be cautious of that, because television, music, all of these things control you, even when you think they're not. So I'm sending you guys lots of love. If this video was helpful for you guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel. I hope that, you guys are healing. I know you guys are going to go through different stages in your life, through your healing process, different awakenings. Sometimes you feel like you're awakened, and you'll start going through even more things, and you'll realize that, life isn't as bad as you thought. You were never really, it's like you're living, but you're not really living. It's like when people go into a room and they're all taking pictures and recording, but they're not really living in that moment, if that makes sense. So when you're with a narcissist, it's like you're going through different experiences, but you're not living and looking around at the beauty around you, So look at the beauty around you. Look at who you are. Accept who you are. Understand. I always say this. Understand that no one can see your spirit. No one sees your spirit. No one can look at you and read your thoughts unless you allow them to, but no one can see who's inside. The person that you are, everything you've been through, how you have evolved, no one can see that. So people around you will always look at you based on the information they have on you, and you can't be mad at them. Just be yourself. That's all you can do. And if they don't like you, let them go live their life, because obviously if they don't want you to be yourself, they don't know who they are. They're just a whole bunch of hypocrites that like to judge other people because they still haven't figured out who they are. We all have our awakenings at different times, and it's better to just stay away from negative people, you guys. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, and peace, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.